I'm going to show you the fastest way to grow a small account, both in terms of risk management and also in terms of where to get in and get out. So you can get results that look like this. Okay, this is the small account I did last week. Turned about 1,300 into 5,600 in one trade, and I had about 1,000% runner on the options. Okay, but there's a very specific method and way that I went about A, the risk management part, and then B, where to get in and get out. And I'm going to show you it in this video. Okay, so let's get started now. The one that I traded on this was on Amazon, okay? And the cool thing about the strategy, I'm going to go over the strategy first, then go over the risk management part. The thing about the strategy that's cool is that all it uses is literally one box, okay? One box in TradingView. I don't use any indicators, don't use literally any lines, nothing else, just a box. And the way the box works is it's essentially a kind of what I call a balance zone or a support resistance zone. All right, so you can see here, if I look at Amazon, there's a lot of very strong kind of resistance areas, right? Kind of in this area. You can see there's a general okay, top here, top here, top here, all the way throughout here. Same thing with support, where you have support here, all the way throughout this area, okay? And my strategy is not, support resistance, but it's kind of, you have to tweak it a little bit. Also with the right risk management, you'll see how to get gains like this, okay? So what was how did I actually end up growing this account? Well, this is the strategy, okay? So step one, really simple. You have to find a balance zone, okay? Balance zone is the zone in purple. It's basically a zone that looks like very strong. I can show you another one on AMD. So you can see on AMD right here, we kind of have this little support area, this resistance area. You can see it's very clear. We have a top, a bottom, bottom, right? So when you have about two tops and two bottoms on each side, that's how you get a really good balance zone, okay? Obviously, something like this is not really a good balance zone because we're kind of just trending up, right? You want to see more of a straight support resistance area and use that for your zone, okay? Just draw the zone of where that support resistance area is. All right, so if we go back to Amazon, I can show you this here. It's crazy because how well it's literally working right now. But here was the actual trade that kind of sent this account going. I think the account started at it was 1,300. Took a few minor trades, and then this one last trade I took really blew it up on Friday. Okay, and so the trade was this. So I had my balance zone, and price actually broke below my balance zone. Okay, and the way this works is really simple. When price, starts inside the balance zone, we come outside. Once we come back inside, we expect to move back to the other side. Really simple, right? Nothing crazy about it. Nothing really complicated. That's how simple it is, okay? So the main thing I loved about this is we look at Amazon, right? Price came back down. We shot back up. Once we shot back up, that made me very comfortable that this was going to be the low of day. This was going to be the bottom, okay? Not only because we had the bottom of this kind of balance zone that we came back inside of it, but also for the fact of how strong this move was. And when I mean strong, I mean speed, how fast we went back inside. Because that shows when this goes really fast, there's a lot of strong buyers in this area, okay? And so for that, I was like, yeah, this low is probably going to hold, okay? So I waited for a little bit on a pullback. I got in right around here. I ended up getting the 170 calls expiring that Friday, okay? So I did go a little bit risky, and I'll explain again with the risk management how I did that. But I went extremely risky with that, and I had my stop down here. I was about risking about 30 to 40, maybe even 50% if I was wrong. And you can see my last runner ended up going about 1,000%, okay? And so this is kind of a basic overview of the strategy. If you guys want to learn more, I put a free training in the link below. Okay, so go ahead and check that out if you want to learn more specifically how this works. But that was really it. Okay, I got in. You simply wait for price to form a balance zone, go out of it, come back inside, then trade it to the other side. So I got in here, stop was below here, and I targeted and got out pretty much up here at the high. Okay, really, really solid, really simple, really easy setup. And all this happened within literally an hour or two. And the contracts just went crazy. They went really crazy because it was a really fast move. It was out of the money. And it was expiring the same day. Now, typically, I don't recommend that, but this only works when you're using it with the right kind of risk management strategy, the right risk management tool. And I'm going to break that down for you right about now, okay? So here's how I do my risk management, and here's how I do my actual, grow this. Here's how you can actually, grow the small account fast, all right? So let me pull out a whiteboard. Now, a lot of you guys, let's say total capital you have is $1,500, okay? So let's just say, for example, you have $1,500. Now, instead of putting all of that in an account, what I like to do is spread it out into 3 different accounts. Okay, and you don't have to. I don't mean like all at the same time. I just mean like over time. So like what I would do is open up an account on like Robinhood or some other broker, put $500 into it. Okay, and the other 500, you'd basically just save as cash. Okay, so this is going to be cash here. These ones are both cash, and then this one is going to be in your Robinhood account. Okay, or it doesn't have to be Robinhood, just whatever account you're trading, right? So that's kind of what I did here. I just left a few or $1,000 in the account and let it do its thing. I'm actually down on it right now because I'm going for another trade, and you guys will see kind of how that all works. But basically, it goes like this, okay? So price came down, and we're at the 500, and basically all you want to do is risk aggressive with it. And so the way I think about it is like, okay, I could put an account with $1,500 into it, and I could risk 1 to 2% of your account per trade, which is what you should do on a main account. This is just how to grow your small account fast, okay? If you want to do it fast, you have to be aggressive. That's just the only way. You can't do it risking 1 to 2%, right? So I could go this and risk I don't know, it'd be like 100 or $15 a trade, $100 a trade, whatever it is. But that's not going to work. So what I like to do is I just say, okay, I'm going to put $500 into account. I'm going to risk anywhere from give yourself 2 or 3 trades until the account blows up. And a lot of you are saying, Jordan, that's crazy. What are you saying? That's actually crazy. If you just take 2 wrong trades, you blow up. Risk $250 a trade, risk $150 a trade. And yes, because you have backup accounts, right? You have backup accounts. So it allows yourself to blow up an account, go for a crazy 200, 300, 400% gain, and then all you need is one trade to really make that happen. And a lot of you might be saying, well, 200, 300%, 400% is tough to get. If you're trading 0 DTEs or weeklies and you're getting good moves like this, you can kind of calculate how much you're going to make. So you can still make pretty good gains just off trading, weeklies and things like that. So it's not really that big of an issue. So what I did is, I had $1,000 in an account. I'm like, all right, let me just be a little aggressive. I risked about $600 on that trade. I had about $600 or $700 of capital in the trade. And I was like, all right, if I'm risking 50%, I'm only going to risk $300. Right? So I had a $1,300 account, risking $300. That's I don't even know off the top of my head, 10%. No, it's not 10%. 5% of the account, or 20. Honestly, my brain's gone. But you guys get the idea. You guys get where I'm going with this, right? You simply risk a decent chunk and knowing that, hey, if I blow up this account, that's fine. Right? I've blown up a lot of small accounts. That's fine. But it works because my winners, if I turn 500, I can turn it into 3K. I can turn it into 5K because you're letting your winners run, right? Especially with a trade like this, you're catching really strong, really nice risk rewards. Where on a move like this, I'm risking 50%, but I'm actually getting a 3.5 hour trade. And on the options, that gets compounded because of how fast it moves, right? And it gets compounded because of a whole bunch of other factors, delta and everything you're looking at, right? So even though a lot of you guys don't disagree, and this is not how I do my main account, okay? My account with 5 figures in it, I do not trust me, I don't go as crazy at this. I do risk 1 to 2%. I'm very, very cautious with that. But for small account growth specifically, this works, okay? You're not going to grow your small account risking 1 to 2%. You're not going to do it really fast. Okay, this isn't for everyone, and you do have to expect that you're going to probably blow up 1 or 2 different accounts, but you have to know your bankroll. You have to know your total bankroll and know how much you want to risk, right? If this is all the money to your name, don't do this, right? If you have 5K, 10K, then you can do this. Don't use 5K as your, you shouldn't use how much cash you have in your bank as this amount, okay? This should still be a small percentage, but at least you're giving yourself a little more room so you can put a few $100 in an account, try and grow it over some trades, and that way you don't have to worry about it. It's also better for trading options that way because, even like this, you don't have to essentially worry about your stop loss if you want to, right? You can just let them go to 0 and go for these massive, massive gains. You can see Amazon balance area works today. We came up to the top, rejected it. You go short. Now we're up here. Maybe we're going to move like this where we come below, come back inside, and we rotate all the way back up. It happens day in, day out. And you can see on Amazon how many times it worked. It worked here, 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 or it didn't work this time. Came back there, there, there. It worked so many times. Okay, so doing that, but being still sane with your risk. Again, you don't want to be too aggressive. You just want to be normal with it. But doing that is going to allow you to get these massive gains and grow your account pretty steadily like this. Okay. So that's what I recommend. This is this is only for growing small accounts. You have to be very careful with your risk, know exactly how much you have, how much you want to trade with. All of that stuff is really, really important. But that's how I was able to grow a small account. That's how I've done it with a few other different small accounts. All the links and stuff and results are going to be on my Twitter if you want to check that out. Yeah, hope you guys did enjoy. I know it was a quick video. Leave a like if you did. I'll see you guys in the next video.